Hello, geography class. Happy Tuesday. I hope you all had a wonderful long weekend. I hope you were able to relax or have little adventures. I hope you were able to catch up on sleep. And I hope you didn't stare at a screen too much because we've been doing a lot of that lately. But overall, mostly, I hope that you enjoyed yourselves. I wish that I could be there with all of you right now, uh, but I decided that I wanted to continue on with my normal weekly schedule just because I didn't want to have to do multiple days of teaching late into the night in a row. So I'm here with you electronically today, but I'm going to be with each and every one of you live in person tomorrow, which I could not be more excited to do, and I'm really looking forward to doing. So, with that being said, I can't wait to see all of you, can't wait to hear from you, but we've got something to do today. We will be carrying on for the rest of this week. So allow me to go ahead and share my screen so that we may begin. All right. So, much like we did a Canadian province project, we are going to do a USA regions project, okay? But first, we are going to do our little first day of the week schedule of rose, bud, thorn, okay? So, what you're going to do is every student is going to send a message in the Zoom chat of their rose, which is something good going on right now, your bud, which is something you are looking forward to, and your thorn, which is something not so good that's going on right now. Okay? I encourage you to send all of your messages to everyone in the chat. I encourage you to respond to those messages, but only in an appropriate manner. Okay? Only in a positive manner. Okay? If you don't feel comfortable doing that, please send these messages to Teacher May Poe privately. But I do ask that you please send these messages. All right. Teacher May Poe is going to go ahead and pause the video while you complete Rose, Bud, Thorn. All righty. So our daily objective is I can begin my USA Regions Group project. Okay. So as a class, I want you to define the following words and give examples, okay? So right now in the Zoom chat box, please send the definition and an example of a country, a state, and a region. Getting this clarification down is going to be very important, okay, to our overall understanding of what each one of them is. So please send a definition and an example in the chat right now. All right, everyone, thank you for doing that. We are now going to go over these quick vocabulary words, okay? So, a country is a nation that is controlled by a central government. Pretty obvious, right? Examples are Myanmar, Canada, or the United States. A state is an area of land that is part of a country with its own individual government, okay? It's a part of a central government, but it also has its own individual government. Some examples are California and Texas, two of the most famous United States. But another example over here is the Shan state, right? See how Myanmar is separated into these states exactly like the United States is as well. Now, a region, one of our 5 themes of geography, is an area, especially part of a country or the world, that has unique physical or cultural characteristics, okay? So one area that is similar to itself in other regions, right? One of the best examples here is Southeast Asia, right? Myanmar is a part of it. Also Thailand, all the way down here to the stretching islands of Indonesia, okay? Another example is Atlantic Canada. We learned about some of these provinces we learned about some of these provinces 2 weeks ago. And this region itself are all these little territories that are all connected through physical characteristics. They're nearby each other, but also cultural characteristics. So you will be placed in groups for another group project, okay? This is not going to be your overall project group. This is going to be a group similar to your Canadian regions project, okay? This project will be similar to the Canadian Provinces and Territories project, but you will be covering regions of the USA instead. So the 6 regions we will focus on are the Northeast, the Southeast, the Midwest, the Southwest, the Rocky Mountains, and the Pacific, okay? These are what these regions look like when they're split up. California, Oregon, and Washington over here, the states attached to the Pacific Ocean, are the Pacific region. These states in orange right here are the Rocky Mountain region. These states down here are the Southwest, like Texas and Arizona. The Midwest is right here. The Northeast is this top right corner of the United States. And the bottom corner is the Southeast, okay? So these are some notes that I want to give to all of you that are going to please pay attention to these, because these are hopefully going to help a lot of you in improving your projects from last time, okay? Again, do not plagiarize. Some of you copied and pasted information from the internet, and because of that, you received an F, okay? I also need you to explain why physical or cultural characteristics are important, okay? So for example, if you talk about how your region is next to an ocean, don't just say that it's next to an ocean. Explain why that ocean is important to the people in that region, okay? I also want you to remember to focus your presentation around your driving question, okay? So if you need a slide to discuss your driving question, that is okay. That's a part of it, right? But you're not just answering it on that one slide. You're trying to answer it all throughout your entire presentation, okay? And finally, please, I know a lot of you split up the slides to work on them individually. Please double check each other's work for spelling and grammar mistakes, as well as to make sure that no one has plagiarized, okay? So edit each other's work. When you're done with your slides, look at your group mates' slides. Make sure their spelling and grammar is good, and make sure that none of it is plagiarized, okay? So now we're going to take some time to look at a sample presentation, as well as the project expectations and graphic organizer document, okay? So here is another sample presentation. This one is on Hawaii, again, done by teacher David and myself. All right, so driving question, okay? The driving question for Hawaii is, why is Hawaii such a common place for tourists to travel, okay? And I answered it on this slide. I said Hawaii is home to beautiful beaches, hikes, waterfalls, and you can even visit volcanoes. And now, in the rest of the presentation, I'm also going to try to relate the information to the driving question, okay? So talking about stereotypes, again, over here on the left, I listed 3 stereotypes of my region. And then I outlined why these stereotypes are false and harmful to people, okay? I disproved each one of the 3 stereotypes, and I explained why the stereotypes were harmful, okay? So for location is one of our 5 themes of geography. I said exactly where Hawaii was in the Pacific Ocean. I labeled the capital city, and I explained what it looked like, okay, and what physically it is. And it is a chain of islands, right? And I named the big ones. Then we get into place, another one of our themes of geography. Hawaii was originally formed by many active volcanoes over hundreds of thousands of years, right? So I'm describing how that process of volcanoes created the islands. Then I'm also describing what the island looks like, what its climate is, okay? And then for the cultural characteristics, I tried to find the native characteristics of the Hawaiian culture, right? Not the tourism characteristics, but the cultural characteristics. The people who were originally from this region, what are they like culturally? Okay. Next in is our region section. We talked about this vocabulary word definition earlier. Okay, so Hawaii is a part of the Pacific Islander region, which I found a picture of and described here as well. For human environment interaction, there are actually 2 slides because there was so much information to include. I talked about how humans affected the animals of Hawaii, and then I talk about how the humans affect the land of Hawaii. Okay, for movement, remember, movement is not just how you get around a region. Movement is also about people, the people who come to the region, immigrants, and the people who leave the region, immigrants, okay? So I talked about the immigrants who come to Hawaii, and then I talk about how people get around on the island as well. I couldn't choose just one top destination of Hawaii, so I chose many. I chose Waikiki Beach, the most popular tourist definition. I chose Volcanoes National Park, where real live volcanoes are still going. I chose Waimea Canyon, one of the most beautiful hikes you could ever go on. And I also chose Hana Road, which is a very curvy, windy road on the island of Maui with beautiful views, okay? And that's when I described them there. So this sample presentation is on Edmodo, along with this graphic organizer, okay? This graphic organizer looks exactly like the graphic organizer from the Canadian project, okay? Here's a schedule on what we'll be doing this week, okay? These are the driving questions for each region. Teacher Maypo will be going to your groups individually to help you choose which regions you are doing. Okay, so you will not choose on your own. Teacher Maypo will help you. Okay. Here I gave you the region names as well as the states of the United States that are in that region. Next up is where you will split up the work from each one of your classmates and little prompting questions to go along with the slides that are in the presentation, okay, just like last time. At the bottom is the rubric based off of how you will be graded. So, geography class, that was a lot of me talking, and I want to get to you working. So the next steps are you will be placed in the breakout rooms of your groups, okay? Then you will, along with Teacher Maypo, decide on the groups for the, or decide on the region that you and your group will be doing, okay? And yeah, then you're gonna get started to working on the graphic organizer. So, please, everyone, Thank you all for being here today. Thank you all for doing your best on this assignment. And I cannot be more excited to see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody.